Hello everybody. Inside this lecture, this will be one of the most insightful lectures that I've ever done. Reason being, because some of the content that I'll be sharing in here today has never ever been seen on the internet before. Like, I'm sure you've never heard of Tapda Addition. Now, you may have seen bits and bobs from, let's say, Rich the Bull. Credits go out to him for the Tapda part. But some of the concepts you'll be seeing today have never been on the internet before. So make sure you stick to the very end of this video, because I'll be sharing lots and lots of gems throughout this whole video. So somewhere in this video, you might just find the key that you've been missing all along. So anyways, let's get into it. First of all, you need to understand what Tapda is and how it works. So if you haven't already, go back and watch these two videos on my channel. If you've already watched them, then brilliant. Let's go on. Tapda Addition revolves around balanced price ranges. Now, I'll kind of expand on that now. Once a BPR gets made at a very specific time, they get traded back into at a corresponding time or date. Now, I'll be sharing exactly what I mean with you now. For this example, as you can see, the SIBI right here was made at 0, right? It was made at midnight. However, the BISI over here got made at 3, okay? This SIBI with this BISI, this range right here that I marked out, creates a balanced price range. Now, when this balanced price range gets traded back into, what time does it get traded back into at? 3 o'clock. Now, this is basically what I mean when I say it gets traded back into at a corresponding time. Because all you do is just add up this SIBI with this BISI, and then this is the time that the BPR was formed, okay? And then this range will get traded back into at its corresponding time. So let's go over like a little Tapda gem for you lot. Tapda is what makes a CSD valid. This is the reason why, in my previous video, I mentioned that there is Tapda in every single swing high or low, even at new all-time highs. Now think about how Tapda can be present at all-time highs, meaning there is no previous trading or price action to the left of where price is at the moment. Now, I've already released this to the time vault, so if you want the answer, then you have to join there, because the stuff I have in there is very, very advanced compared to my YouTube lectures. However, I'll also soon be releasing a very affordable ebook so that anyone can learn the things that I'm teaching in the time vault. It might not go as in depth, however, the things I'm going to be releasing inside of that ebook will be much more advanced than what I'm teaching on YouTube or that's anywhere else out on the internet. So make sure you stay tuned for when that releases. Now, for a higher time frame edition. When I'm saying higher time frame, I'm talking daily chart plus. So, we have two options to pick from to calculate the correct balanced price range addition. These two options are day, month, and year, and just day. For this lecture, I'm only going to be going over day, month, and year, because that'll give you the gist. Day will be pretty self-explanatory after I go over day, month, and year. So for a higher time frame edition, we keep our calculations inside of a 30-day container. Basically meaning that if we do, for example, the 14th of a certain month and the 20th of a certain month, that gives us 34, okay? After we reach 30, we start counting again from 0, meaning that the counter restarts. So the number was 34, right? Because we're basically just taken away 30. Now this right here is my own concept and has never ever been mentioned online before. So let's go over a quick live example of this happening in the marketplace. Our first SIBI was made on the 31st of October 2024. Now let's take this date, okay? Now let's split it up into day, month, year. Now I know in some places of the world they switch over the months and days, but that's totally irrelevant for what we're doing. If we add up these three numbers, the day, the month, and the year, we get the number 65. Now remember what I said earlier? Our calculations have to be kept inside of a 30-day container. So, to keep it inside of that 30-day container, our 65 gets turned into a 5 because two 30s go into our 60. So we just get rid of the 60 and we just keep the 5. If you have any questions about that, just leave a comment underneath this video and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Now for our second BISI right here. It got formed on the 4th of November 2024. We split it up into days and months and years. Then we add up those three numbers. 4 plus 11 plus 24 gives us 39. Now remember, keep inside of a 30-day time frame, meaning that we have to get rid of the 3 at the start, gives us our 9 right here. 5 plus 9 equals 14. The 14 is the day or time. Now the 14 is the day or time that this balanced price range got formed. So then let's drag this balanced price range out, and then what we can see is that price trades back in on the 13th and then begins displacing on the 14th. Now this happens quite a lot, where a range gets tapped into a candle before or a candle after it was meant to. So exactly like inside of this example right here, our date should have been 14th, however it got tapped on the 13th. Absolutely no problem. You can use one candle before or one candle after the intended time that was meant to be at. Now, for this next slide, this is another one of my concepts that I've never, ever been mentioned online by anyone. This is always kind of the beginning of how I anticipate the exact times that highs and lows are going to get hit. Now, if you follow me on X or Twitter, or you're inside of the time vault, you'd see me calling out an exact time 3, 4, 5 hours before it gets there. And I say, at this time, this high or low will get taken out. And people are like, how did you know that within this hour, this high will get taken out? I'm going to partially answer that question inside of our next slide. This right here is real turtle soup plus Tapda Addition. As you can see inside of this image, this biscuit right here was made at 3 o'clock, okay? This sibby right here was made at 9. We're going to convert these into our 12-hour clock, okay? So this one is made at 3, this one is made at 9. What is 3 plus 9? It's 12, right? So if we drag this range out, it gets traded back into at midnight over here. 12 is the same as midnight. It doesn't matter which one, okay? So we trade back into a balanced price range. But then look what happens. This high should have been our CSD, right? However, it gets turtle souped by this candle right here that's made at 3. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave you with this image right here. I want you to think, what do all of these times that I've just shared with you down here, what do all of those times have in common? I want you to think and think and think until an answer pops into your head, and then I want you to leave it in the comments. Now I know this is a super short lecture, so if you want to learn more about Tapda and other very advanced concepts, and you also want to see me live trade and prove that I can truly trade these markets, and I actually call price, join the Time Vault. You can claim a 7-day free trial below. I will be leaving a link below so you can pre-book your spot for the ebook. It will have limited spots, so if you want to confirm that you will get a spot for the ebook, all you have to do is just fill out the form I've left below. So I hope everyone has an amazing day, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.